All right, let's talk about a book that is, and I'm not exaggerating here, a complete game changer for traders, Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. We're going to dig into its blueprint for finding that consistency we're all after. And here's a little spoiler for you, it has almost nothing to do with what you think it does. Let's dive in. So let's kick things off with a question that probably keeps a lot of traders up at night. You're smart, right? You do your homework, you study the charts, you get the concepts. So why does the account balance so often go the wrong way? It is so frustrating, and it's the exact problem that this book tackles head on. And right out of the gate, the book just flips the script. It says the reason for all that inconsistency, for the losses, for the gut-wrenching frustration, it isn't because your analysis is bad or you need some new magic strategy. Nope. The real problem is hiding somewhere else completely. And that brings us to what you could call the trader's paradox. This is the core mental battle that honestly keeps most traders stuck in a loop and prevents them from ever really succeeding. Man, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? As people, we are absolutely wired to want to be right. We crave certainty. But the market is all about probabilities. It's an ocean of uncertainty. And when you try to force your need for certainty onto this environment, you're setting yourself up for a psychological train wreck. I mean, come on, does any of this look painfully familiar? This is the direct result of that paradox. You get analysis paralysis because you're terrified of making the wrong call. You jump out of a winning trade way too soon because you're scared of losing what you've got. And you hold on to those losers just hoping, praying they'll turn around so you can feel like you were right all along. It's this vicious emotional cycle, all driven by that deep need to not be wrong. So if the market isn't the real enemy, what is? Well, Douglas makes it crystal clear. The real battlefield, the one that actually determines if you win or lose, is the 6 inches between your ears. And look at this. This right here shows the huge mental gap. The amateur is obsessed with trying to predict what the market will do next. But the pro is only focused on one thing, executing their system perfectly, no matter what happens on this one trade. The amateur thinks a loss is a personal failure. The pro just sees it as the cost of doing business, like rent. It's a total shift in perspective, from trying to control the uncontrollable market to learning how to control yourself. And if you remember just one thing, let it be this. The market is always going to be unpredictable. It's going to do things that seem completely random. The only variable in this whole equation that you have absolute control over is you, your mindset, and your actions. That's where real, lasting consistency is born. Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we make this huge mental shift? Well, the first giant step is to stop thinking like a gambler and start thinking like a casino. It's all about probabilities. This is the casino mindset Douglas talks about. Think about it. The casino has no idea if the next spin on the roulette wheel is going to be red or black. And you know what? It doesn't care one bit. It knows that over thousands and thousands of spins, its small statistical edge guarantees it will make money. Your trading system, that's your edge. You have to trust that edge over a long series of trades, not get worked up about the last one. You have to let this sink in deep. Let's say you have a great system that wins 60% of the time. Awesome. But that also means 40% of your trades will be losers. Out of the next 10 trades, 4 of them are going to lose. And here's the kicker. You have no idea which 4. It could be the next 4 in a row. So any one trade is basically meaningless. It's just a single roll of the dice in a much, much bigger game. Now, to really build this probabilistic mindset, Mark Douglas gives us a whole new belief system, a new set of rules to operate by. He calls them the 5 fundamental truths of trading. Okay, these are the absolute pillars of a pro trader's mindset. Let's just quickly unpack them. Number 1, anything can happen. This forces you to always use a stop loss. Number 2, you don't need to know what's next to make money. This is so freeing. It takes the pressure of being a fortune teller off your shoulders. Number 3, there's a random distribution between wins and losses. This stops you from taking losses personally or getting a big head after a few wins. Number 4 is just a reminder that an edge isn't a guarantee. And number 5, every moment is unique. This is crucial. It stops you from letting your last trade, whether it was a huge win or a crushing loss, mess with your head on this next trade. And here is the secret sauce. It's not enough to just hear these 5 truths and nod your head. You have to burn them into your brain. You have to internalize them so deeply that they become your automatic response to the market. That's what finally gets rid of the fear. The book actually has some amazing exercises to help you do this, to literally rewire how you think. So when you actually do this, when you adopt this mindset and internalize these truths,
You unlock the ability to get into a state of peak performance. Douglas calls it, simply, the zone. This is the holy grail for a trader. It's that flow state where you're just completely in sync with the market. You're not fighting it, you're not trying to guess what it's going to do. You just see your setups as they appear and you act on them, mechanically, almost effortlessly, with zero emotional baggage. When you're in the zone, there's no fear. Why? Because you've already accepted the risk before you even got in the trade. There's nothing left to be scared of. There's no hesitation. Your system flashes a signal, you act. That's it. No second guessing, no what-if scenarios playing in your head. All that's left is pure, simple execution. And that right there, that is where consistent results come from. Not from a better indicator, but from consistent, disciplined action, over and over again. And that really brings us to the final, most important question. This whole thing, it's a massive shift in how you see the world. It's not about tweaking your strategy. It's about rebuilding yourself as a trader from the inside out. So the real question for you is, are you willing to do that hard mental work? Are you ready to actually change your core beliefs about the market so you can finally get the results you've been searching for? Because according to Mark Douglas, the answer to that question will define everything.